Bitcoin is breaking to the downside, and it is obvious what whales are doing at this moment. One big whale, Galaxy Digital, has been selling off a huge amount of Bitcoin, causing the Bitcoin prices to dump. But interestingly enough, Ethereum is still holding up very well. So we will need to be talking about that exactly. Something huge is about to happen. On top of this chart, which is exactly telling us what is about to happen next after this excessive profit taking from Bitcoin whales. I will be discussing that exactly and much more, my Bitcoin and Ethereum trade, and many more things. So as always, let's get started with a shorter time frame. And Bitcoin has been breaking to the downside because of a big whale selling off a huge portion of their Bitcoin, adding this huge amount of sell pressure, of course causing the Bitcoin price to fall. Now, first of all, I will be saying I do not think that this dump is gonna last. I do think we are about to reverse it back to the upside soon again, and this will be a big trap. I've got some data proving this, so we'll be going over that in a minute. But yeah, there's this obvious fact that it's going to be pretty likely to be filling up that gap now, because we have been seeing that break to the downside. And like I've been saying, first of all, in the days before, I do not think it was going to be likely to be filling up that gap. But in the case, if it is going to be happening, I'm going to be prepared and I'm going to be adding to my Bitcoin position, which I've been exactly doing. Now, more on that exactly a bit later, but there's going to be two scenarios which I'm going to be keeping in mind right now. First of all, we have been beautifully grabbing that liquidity below a previous level of support, been seeing a shakeout below, and this could be a beautiful setup to push back to the upside again, but also at the same time, that CME gap didn't completely get filled, so maybe potentially in the shorter time frames, we still have got some lower to go. However, if we're going to be zooming out, we might just be creating a big and huge bull flag pattern at this moment. So eventually, I do think that this dump, which we are seeing at this moment, is just going to be a massive trap, which is going to be the reason why I want to be accumulating more now. It's just a big whale scaling out at this moment, which is absolutely normal. We always see this happening, but after these big whales are scaling out, usually the Bitcoin price just will continue to the upside even further. So yeah, huge shakeout being created at this moment, but I just think this is going to be giving us a very good opportunity and some very good, nice, cheap entries. Now, about this whale scaling out, I've actually got a very interesting theory a little bit later, but more about that later, because we're going to be printing a lot of money on this. Now, first of all, talking about this chart is pretty interesting in my opinion, because we can be seeing some big whales scaling out, taking their profits, and usually whenever whales are scaling out and taking their profits, we actually want to get cautious. We want to be getting very careful in the market. But interestingly enough, if we're going to be having a look into this chart, well, we have been seeing it multiple times this cycle, where the net realized profit loss has been spiking to the upside. Whales have been taking their profits. But always, whenever this has been happening, or at least the last two times where this has been happening, it hasn't been indicating the exact Bitcoin peak. For example, if we're going to be zooming in, well, initially, this signal has spiked right over here. But then after this first initial spike, the Bitcoin price still went even higher and still reached these all-time highs. Then after that, it saw a bit of a rejection and consolidation. Then after that, we even went even higher, and then we peaked out. If we are just going to be overlaying this price action that we've got over here, well, in that case, we could be having a look into some price action, like, for example, this. With still Bitcoin prices pushing even higher, maybe even to that 130k mark. But eventually we do need to stay a bit more vigilant and a little bit more cautious, because eventually we will need to have a look into a correction from this level. That is exactly why I think still something like this is about to play out, where the Bitcoin price will still be moving to that 130k mark, then see a bit more of a rejection and correction, and then reach that all-time high with a bearish divergence and then hit with the bear market. This has been my base case for a very long time, and right now it's looking more likely than ever to be exactly playing out. So that's what I'm going to be expecting, especially with the Bitcoin funding rates still being at a neutral level, with all of the Bitcoin liquidity right now being swept from the downside. We still got a little bit of liquidity sitting below us. And after that, all of the liquidity is just going to be sitting at the top side, looking good. On top of that, the global M2 liquidity has also been moving to the upside. Arguably, we are creating a bit of a divergence because Bitcoin has been moving to the downside while the global liquidity has been moving to the upside. But we could be seeing the same exact thing happening right over here, where Bitcoin also moved to the downside, global liquidity to the upside, and Bitcoin eventually just catched that one up with a big pump to the upside. So I'm not worried about that, just a bit of a divergence being created, but in the longer time frame trend, the longer term trend is just going to be to the upside. Now, combining that with also this indication that we're about to retest previous resistance into support, looking very beautiful. The stock market reaching new all-time highs every single day while Bitcoin is lagging behind slightly. I'm not going to be worried at all, and that is going to be a major reason why I've been upscaling my Bitcoin trade. Currently sitting in a 300k margin, 10x leverage, my biggest Bitcoin trade ever. I do have a lot of conviction in this Bitcoin trade, but I am going to be having even more conviction in my altcoin trades, because look at this. While I might be sitting in a 40k loss on my Bitcoin trade, my Ethereum position is sitting in a 63k profit, and my Ethereum position is sitting in an 85k profit. I've even scaled up my Ethereum trade with an additional 15k margin, right now sitting in a total 30k margin, because I just think the opportunity we are getting with altcoins are going to be huge. If you're also going to be getting interested in trading, by the way, make sure to check out the links down below, because you can be getting a 25% fee discount only with my link and a 30k deposit bonus. If you deposit $2,000, you're already going to be getting a free $400, and with this money you can be entering the market for free and enter some free positions, not costing you a single dollar. Anyways, if you've been sticking around in this video, right now we're coming to the juicy part of this video, because I think the opportunity we're getting is going to be mind-blowing. Yesterday we've got this post from Mike Novogratz, which is this huge Bitcoin whale that is selling off at this moment. Well, yesterday he has been saying on public TV that he's more bullish on Ethereum. He sees more upside potential in Ethereum. The day after, he's literally selling off his Bitcoin, stabling it into USDT. So I think something huge is about to happen, and he is selling its Bitcoin to buy more Ethereum. I mean, in my opinion, it would make a lot of sense. These are just going to be some rumors. It's not confirmed news because he's only just been stabling it into USDT. But I definitely do think he is about to do something with that USDT. You're not stabling any Bitcoin into USDT if you do not want to enter the market again. Because, well, if you really just want to scale out of the market, you will just stable your money into a bank account, into a cash reserve, not into stable coins, in my opinion. So if I'm just going to be connecting the dots, I think he is about to buy a huge sum of Ethereum, just selling off his Bitcoin to buy Ethereum. This is going to be huge for the Ethereum price. We can already see some strength coming in for ETH against BTC. Like we have been predicting, Ethereum is showing immense signs of strength while it is consolidating. Bitcoin has been breaking down. Ethereum is just slowly consolidating and just creating a very beautiful weekly candle of consolidation right after this big move to the upside. The weekly chart for Ethereum is looking beautiful, exactly like we have been predicting. The Bitcoin dominance is getting its rejection from this massive level of previous resistance, turning into support, right now turning back into resistance. This is exactly what we wanted to see for the Bitcoin dominance, and it is happening. Let's see if the real alt season is happening at this moment. I would definitely not be surprised during this final end stage of the market cycle, where usually we always see an altcoin season and the altcoin dominance is always rising. I think it would make a lot of sense with all of the developments going on, with all of the heavy accumulation going on from institutions. Whales are accumulating Ethereum like no tomorrow, and I mean, they're pretty smart. They know what's going on. They know the money rotation is about to happen. This is exactly what we want to be seeing during an altcoin season, where Bitcoin dominance is just dropping while the Bitcoin price is dumping. Altcoins are remaining pretty stable. This is exactly what we want to see. During the previous altcoin seasons, well, it basically ended after the Bitcoin dump, where all of the money started to rotate back into Bitcoin again. Right now, it's a completely different story. We are seeing a Bitcoin dump and altcoins still remaining to be pretty strong. So very interesting behavior we're getting right now. It's definitely going to be different from of the previous instance we have been having during November, December. Looking very good. Let's see how it's going to be developing. We're not completely out of the woods just yet. We want to be confirming a lower low again. But this has been exactly the reason why I've been opening up these massive altcoin positions, and while Bitcoin might be dumping a bit, minus 48k, well, my altcoin positions have been making up for all of the gains and more that Bitcoin has been losing. But before going over some more interesting alpha, because a lot of things have been happening, well, if you are going to be getting interested in following me over on these trades, and I've been trading the market absolutely beautiful. You can see my track record over here. Right now we're doing the same thing with altcoins. Make sure to check out that first link down below, because with the first link down below, you can be joining my private platinum group absolutely for free. I do not see any reason why you wouldn't want to join. Make sure to check it out with that first link down below. Join my group. This morning I've made a very big update video about all of my trades and my view about the market. So if you watch that video, you're also going to be absolutely printing. Yesterday I was sharing that I'm increasing my position on ENA, and after that it's been absolutely printing. So yeah, make sure to join over there. And anyways, going over even more alpha, well, I think the USA is still about to announce something very big. So this is not going to be the time to be shaken out of the market. Next week is going to be absolutely huge. Let's see what is going to be happening. On top of that, altcoins are just seeing a bit of a shakeout from this level of resistance, but still in that longer time frame, we are just creating a big cup and handle pattern, about to break this one out to the upside. Just seeing a bit of a rejection, consolidation at resistance, definitely very normal. Eventually, I think we're about to break above, and then this huge parabolic altcoin season is about to start. Right now you still got time to prepare yourself, but not a lot of time anymore, because I think it is about to happen literally any moment now. We are about to print in this market, and while Bitcoin is about to consolidate during this final wave which we are seeing right now, I think altcoins are about to print a significant amount of gains. So make sure to be prepared. Make sure to join that platinum group. First link down below, and I'll see you over there on the inside. Anyways, with that being said, tomorrow morning, another update video, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.